Um, do you want to talk about Midnights? Because I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah,
I don't really know what I want to say. I just like I can't stop listening to it, and I want to know more of your thoughts.
please don't cancel me before I even become cancelable. It's not my favorite. Um, I think I still like Lover more and Folklore and Evermore more, but that's okay. I really like Sweet Nothing and I like some of the 3 a.m. tracks. And I like Hits Different, but obviously I can't listen to it all the time because I'm not just gonna stop my fucking playlist and then go to Tumblr to play it and go back to my playlist because that's just not how I fucking run my life.
Right. And if I put this in the podcast, for us, Midnights came out 3 days ago. For you, probably not.
I didn't get to listen to it at all yesterday because I was sleeping the entire fucking day.
Mm.
How did I sleep for literally 20 hours of the day yesterday?
Sometimes you gotta like your body just needs it. Like if you sleep that much, your body is like, hey, listen,
We gotta fix
we gotta
this.
we gotta shut down for the day and reboot.
We went to bed after Cassie's party at 2,
Hmm.
which is way later than I ever stay up because we normally go to bed around 10 or 11.
Hi, witches.
Hi, witches.
Okay, I have one witchy. I didn't think I had any witchy topics to talk about with this movie, but I do have one. So I will. I don't know where I'll sandwich it in, but I'll find a spot. But today we're talking about Kiki's Delivery Service, the Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because this is the only thing we're talking about, and I feel like a lot of the episodes that we've covered lately had a lot of content to go over, but we'll see.
Yeah, Kiki is pretty simple. Um, it's a coming of age story about a 13-year-old witch. She leaves home for a year to begin her training.
She's got a cat
Um,
named Gigi.
yeah, he's voiced by Phil Hartman. Rest in peace.
Bill Hartman. Wait. The Phil Hartman that was in the Morbid episode? Like that was
Yeah,
the whoa.
yeah. Kai's mind is blown.
When you first said Phil Hartman, my mind went to Phil Collins, and I was like, no.
No, it's not Phil Collins. And Kiki is voiced by Kirsten Dunst.
I knew that. So the Phil Hartman that got murdered.
Yes. If you don't know, Phil Hartman was murdered. Um, Again, rest in peace. It's very sad. There is a Morbid episode about that. We both really love Morbid. I'm wearing their merch right now, which is
Cool.
coincidental. Um, there's a Morbid episode about that if you want to go listen to it. Those are pretty much the only notable voices in this movie though. So it starts out and Kiki is laying in a field of flowers and she's listening to the radio and then she runs into the house and oh my god, the vibe of the first like 2 minutes of this movie is like so like
Cottagecore.
oh my god. It's so like the flowers and her mom's like I don't know like apothecary like it's a
I thought it was a flower
glass.
shop.
Well, she's making potions and she's making a potion to cure this old lady's arthritis.
I could use that.
Same. Just like the music and the art, it's all so beautiful. I love it so much. It's so dreamy. Um, so Kiki hears on the radio that it's going to be a clear night, and she's like, um,
Mom.
yeah, I'm gonna leave
Basically.
tonight. Yeah, she's like, I thought you were leaving next month. And she's like, I want to leave on the perfect midnight. And she's like, God damn it. And her mom's like, man, like you can't even mix potions like me, but like, I don't know, go off, I guess. Um, And then there's a part with her dad because her dad comes home and he's like, I thought we were going on a camping trip this weekend. And she's like, sorry, dad, which was really sad. But there's a part in her bedroom where like they're packing and he's looking at her and he's like, you look so grown up. And they're like, he picks her up and he twirls her around and they hug and it's like really sweet. He's like, when did you get so big? And it like actually made me tear up. It's like literally so wholesome and sweet.
I just want to say that this was the first Studio Ghibli movie that I ever watched. And I got it when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old because I had a procedure done at the hospital, and my mom always got us gifts when we went to the hospital. And lucky for me, I was literally like always at the fucking hospital as a kid. So I got a lot of like stuffed animals and shit from the hospital.
Oh,
But yeah, I remember like there's a lot that I remember about that movie. Like the cow in the train.
yeah. So she flies away to go to a coastal town at midnight, and then she ends up in a train, and um, she falls asleep in some hay, and when it turns morning, a cow is licking her foot because, the cow is eating the hay, and it scares Kiki awake. And then she sticks her head down and she's like, sorry, didn't mean to fall asleep in your breakfast, which is very cute. But before that, the fucking night before, there's this fucking bitch. Do you remember the
Ah,
fucking
yeah. The one
yeah,
who thinks she's hot shit.
yeah, yeah. The fucking she sees this other girl flying on
This
her broom.
preppy witch.
She's like it's another witch and she has a cat and a lantern on her and she she's like can you turn that radio off? I like to fly in peace and quiet. And she's like, so what's your skill? And Kiki's like, well, I don't know yet. I'm just leaving for my my training, my apprenticeship. And she's like, oh, well, my skill is fortune telling, so I can handle anything. And I'm sitting there like, girl,
Can we talk about how like Kiki's radio doesn't like move at all?
right? Like she should have lost that. She should have lost that shit. Absolutely.
Maybe maybe her mother put a spell on it.
Maybe. How can we talk about how like when she starts flying, Gigi is on her bag and um and the radio's hanging off the tip of her broom and Kiki's like, Gigi, can you go turn on the radio? I can't manage it. How the fuck is Gigi turning on a radio?
A cat.
I know he can talk and everything, but like this guy doesn't have thumbs, okay? Like,
Why couldn't she just talk to Gigi for entertainment?
I don't know. Gigi's so funny. Gigi's so funny throughout the movie, like the whole movie.
He's a good character.
I would argue that he's maybe the best character.
What what's that boy's name in the movie with the red shirt? Tombo or something?
Tombo. How do you feel about Tombo?
I always liked him. Was he a little annoying? Yeah, but overall I still think he's a good character, you know?
Yeah, I think so too.
I think his friends like were maybe a little bit eh.
Yeah. Speaking of Tombo, when Kiki and Gigi arrive at the coastal city where like that's the focal point of the movie, Gigi like doesn't want to stay there because he doesn't like water because he's a cat or whatever. And he's
But
like, there might be witches that already live here, and I want to know why that matters. Like, I wish they addressed that in passing. Like, is there a witch
um
limit on a town?
I think it would be a good thing if there's already witches there because then they could help train her.
I'm saying
Sorry, I'm tired.
it's okay. I'm tired too.
You know
Kiki
this
almost
though.
causes a fucking pile up because she doesn't know how to goddamn fly. She flies like low to the ground and she almost causes like a huge car crash. And that's when she meets Tombo because he causes a distraction for the cop to like lay off of Kiki.
I like the lady that she ends up living with.
Oh my god. Oh, Osono. She's adorable.
And her
She's a
lady cat.
It's not
Is
her
it her
cat.
cat? Oh,
It's the neighbor's
it,
cat.
it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember a, a decent deal of what happens.
Yeah, Usono has a neighbor who is supposedly a fashion designer, and she has a white fluffy cat. And
A lady cat.
yeah. Oh, and I guess we should say for the record that Gigi is a black cat. And um that's the witchy thing I want to talk about later because I think it would be fun to talk about black cats. So Usono is a bakery owner, and Kiki helps Usono deliver a pacifier that someone forgot at her bakery. And she's like, "Hey, you could be a delivery girl and I'll let you stay in my spare room." And Kiki's like, "Hell yeah." So they get to
And
the
that
spare room
spare
and
room is actually an attic.
yeah, it's an attic.
It's a cute attic though.
Well, they get there and Gigi goes, "This is quaint," which is funny to me. And it's dusty as hell. And he's like, "If you wake up in the morning and you see a white cat, it's me." And I think a lot of why he's funny is because like it's Phil Hartman's voice, and it doesn't like
It's
I
like
don't know.
it's kind of like nasally.
It's a grown man's voice coming out of a cat. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right, but it's hilarious. I love it.
It's a goofy voice.
Yeah, it's kind of I can't do an impression, but I wish I could.
I can hear it perfectly in my head, but it's a very
Same.
goofy voice.
Okay, tangent. ADHD, also tangent about ADHD. My therapist is an ADHD specialist, and she told me today that ADHD people are proven to be worse drivers than people without ADHD.
I'm not telling my car insurance company.
That is so fucking random. I'm so sorry. It's because you said something about your hair, and I'm like, that's your we're we're on a tangent. And I was like, oh yeah, let me go on a tangent. Kiki runs off to help Usono in the bakery, and then Usono's husband, who's like this big, like beefy guy, he sees Gigi watching him from the corner, and he like spins some trays on his hands all fancy like, and he's showing off for the cat, which I think is so funny and cute. After they secure the spare room and they decide to help Usono in the bakery, Kiki and Gigi go grocery shopping, and they see a mug and Gigi points at it and he goes, "Kiki, it's me." And it has like a little black cat on it. And she gets it. And I think that's really cute and
It's
considerate of
adorable.
her. It's so cute and sweet.
I wish I could take Ziggy grocery shopping with me, and he would be like, "Hey, look, it's me," when we see a Boston Terrier thing. But he would never do that because he can't talk. And you can't take dogs into the grocery store most of the time if it's just a dog, and not a service dog.
Kiki gets her first delivery, and it's a toy that looks just like Gigi.
Gigi!
And Gigi's like, "Wait, but that's me." So they try to deliver it, and at some point she is flying, and then she flies next to a flock of geese, and then the geese are honking, and she's like, "What are they saying?" And Gigi's like, "They say there's going to be a gust of wind, so they're going to fly higher." And then, the gust of wind comes and fucks Kiki up. And then she falls into a bird's nest, and a raven, or no, sorry, a crow is fucking pissed and thinks that she's trying to
Oh,
steal its eggs.
it's baby.
So she leaves and she starts getting attacked by all these crows. But then she realizes that the doll that looks like Gigi is gone, so she has to go back for it, but the birds won't let her, and the birds are fucking scary, dude.
They're mean.
They're really mean and they're scary. Like they're attacking her and they're like biting at her broom bristles. Have you ever seen Probably not. This is a stupid question. Have you ever seen the horror movie The Birds? Or do you know of it?
I know of it.
Dude, like it's fucking scary. The idea of birds being like all fucked up like is scary.
They make like a reference to the birds in Schitt's Creek.
Well, they're fucking everywhere, dude. Like,
Like the main character Moira, she
yeah.
like is in like a movie that's based off of the birds.
So they lose, so they lost the doll and they can't get it back because the crows are attacking them.
And
And
mean crows.
they decide to use Gigi as a replacement until she can get the doll back. And
So funny.
Gigi is like, "Can I breathe?" And Kiki says, "No, no breathing."
It's a good movie in general.
It's a really nice, like cozy, good movie. So Kiki goes to get the doll back and she meets this nice artist lady in the woods named Ursula.
I remember her. I loved her.
She's sketching the crows and she's like, "Hey, have you seen a doll around here?" And she's like, I'm busy. I'm drawing this crow. Can you like wait? Thanks." Eventually she does end up having the doll, but the doll's head is broken. And she's like, "Hey, I will sew this doll up for you if you wash my floors." So that's what they do. So she fixes the doll, she gets the doll back, and um Gigi has been in the house of this kid who was supposed to get the doll this whole time. And
It's like
there's
a
a dog in
3-year-old.
there. Yeah. He's a brat because
Yeah.
she delivers the doll and he's like, "This is dumb," and he instead uses the cage for his bird. But yeah, there's a dog in there, so Gigi is like kind of freaking the fuck out. But the dog, whose name is Jeff, is actually a bro. And Gigi says, when Kiki finally gets there to replace Gigi with the doll, he says, "Jeff helped me escape. Kiki, if we ask him, I bet he'll take the stuffed one back inside. He'll do it. He's a good dog." And like, God, I wish I could do an impression of Gigi because like just the way he says it is so funny. He's a good dog.
If you look closely right here, you can see Ziggy's ear.
He's a good dog.
Sometimes.
Debatable.
And debatable.
Kiki gets back from her first delivery and um she sees in the front window of the bakery that they made her a little sign that says Kiki's delivery service with a little witch in it. And it's adorable. And she's like freaking out and like all happy.
And that's
And
where the name of the movie came from.
right. And it's Osono's husband that made it. And she like jumps on him and gives him a big hug. And like, it's so cute. Like, this movie's so fucking cute. Her next delivery is with two old ladies who are also adorable. They want to deliver a pie to their granddaughter's birthday party, but the pie isn't baked because the electric oven isn't working.
Electric oven.
Yeah, it isn't working. So she helps them bake the pie in the old like firewood oven, which I can't remember the name of. It's not called a firewood oven, it's called something else.
I think it's a Firestone oven.
I don't know.
I don't know
Brick.
either.
It's called a brick stone. Fuck, I don't know. Shit. um you can actually bake this same pumpkin herring pie. Two of my favorite YouTube channels, Babish Culinary Universe and Feast of Fiction, made
Oh,
recipe videos for it.
Babish did one?
Yeah, I can link it to you later.
That's so
I,
freaking cool.
you know what? Should I put them in the show notes?
Put it in the show notes for the people.
Yeah, I will put both of them. I will put Babish and Feast of Fiction because I love both of those YouTube channels. It's not actually like Babish himself that made the video. It's Alvin, the anime guy, that made the video. But yeah.
Alvin is not, by the way, a chipmunk.
Right. So earlier, before she made this delivery to the two old ladies, Tombo invited her to a party at 6 p.m. And so she's having tea with these two old ladies, and she's like, Oh, I have plenty of time before the party. Don't worry about it. The old lady's like, oh, I'm so sorry. My clock actually runs slow. So Kiki's like, fuck. So she makes the delivery in the pouring rain and she delivers the pie to the granddaughter, and she's a huge brat.
I remember that.
She says, I hate grandma's stupid pies, and then she slams the door in Kiki's face after taking the pie.
Kiki's so sweet though.
He literally is. She doesn't make it to the party, and she says she can't go in her soaking wet clothes anyway because like she really only has this one dress that she left home with.
That's her fault.
Well, I mean, she's 13. I don't know. Like, it's supposed to be the 1950s. I don't really know why she didn't leave with any other clothes. I don't know if she didn't have any other clothes. I don't know what that's all about.
I mean,
Um,
she had to have at least one other set of clothes.
the black dress she wears throughout the movie comes up quite a bit. Because she in the beginning, she's like, um, Mom, I look dumb. And she's like, witches have worn this color for like not decades. Witches have
Ages.
worn this color for so long. And Tombo's like, you can tell that she's a witch because she wears black. And Kiki's like, I wish I
Stereotypical
had
much?
a Kiki's like, I wish I could have a pretty dress. And it just keeps coming up. But she only has the one dress. And it's soaking wet because of the pouring rain. She's really feeling depressed, and then she catches a cold because she was flying in the pouring rain.
Even though that's not how you catch colds.
Yeah, it really isn't. Um, Osono sees Kiki is sick the next morning and takes care of her, even though she's heavily pregnant because she's a literal angel.
Second best character, third best character in the movie.
She makes her oatmeal with honey. She brings her medicine and she brings her an ice pack. She like tucks her in. She's like so fucking sweet. You know what? Gigi isn't the best character. I think Osono is the best character. Gigi is like the second best character.
That's fair.
Osono sends Kiki on a delivery and it ends up being a delivery to Tombo, and then Tombo and Kiki hang out. Yeah, he's building a man-propelled aircraft with his buddies, and right now it's just a bike with a big-ass propeller on the front.
Yeah, I remember that.
While riding it, they do end up floating a bit and then flying up, and then they almost get hit by a semi-truck. So they turn, and then the propeller flies off, and the bike goes down a hill, and they totally biff it. But they're fine.
It's a little
But yeah,
chaotic.
yeah, the propeller is like, I don't know where the fuck the propeller went. Some of Tombo's other friends show up, and it includes that bratty granddaughter, the one that got the herring pie.
Fuck her.
Tombo wants to go hang out with some of them and Kiki as well, but Kiki's like, no, I'll see you around.
That's fair.
Super fair. I wouldn't want to hang out with that brat because they keep saying like the brat was like, hey, she made a delivery to my house the other day, and another one's like, oh my gosh, she's working at her age, like it's an insult. And it's like, can you be more catty? Like, what is your problem?
In the 1950s, like everybody was working at like 13.
I'm saying. So she leaves, and then she gets home. She's like kind of, you can tell by the way she's moving and like everything, she's feeling kind of down and depressed.
I'm
And all of
tired.
this, yeah, tired.
Burnt out, probably.
All of a sudden, Kiki can't understand Gigi. Like he's just meowing.
And she thinks her witchiness has gone away.
Yeah, because then she can't fly. And while trying to get herself to fly, because she keeps like climbing up a hill and then jumping down it, she snaps her broom in half.
Girl, how you do it?
Tombo calls and he's like, oh, da 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 da, the dirigible is gonna be here tomorrow, and da 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 da. I did this with the bike, and oh man, I'm having such a great time talking to you. And Kiki's like, don't call here anymore. And she hangs up. She's depressed as fuck.
That sucks for like a 13-year-old.
Yeah. She says to Asono's kind of like, Kiki, what's the matter? And Kiki says, I'm still in training to become a witch. If I lose my magic, that means I've lost absolutely everything, which really is sad. So the next day, artist Lady Ursula comes to visit.
I love me some Ursula.
She takes Kiki on a trip back to artist lady's house because burnout. She knows
Burnout.
Kiki is having burnout, and she's like, get the fuck out of town, take a break. And so they do. And I wrote down a quote of what Ursula said because I thought it was good. She said, when I was your age, I decided I already wanted to become an artist. I loved to paint so much, I'd paint all day until I fell asleep right at my easel. Then one day, for some reason, I just couldn't paint anymore. I tried and tried, but nothing I did seemed any good. They were copies of paintings I've seen somewhere before, and not very good copies either. I just felt like I lost my ability. We each need to find our own inspiration, Kiki. Sometimes it's not easy.
I feel that.
Well, I don't know. When I saw this movie when I was a kid, like several times, but like I didn't get it until I was adult that it's about like very adult things like feeling isolated and dealing with money issues and burning out.
Yeah, mental health.
Yeah. I like that it's like that those themes are in this, kids movie though.
Mm-hmm.
The old herring pie ladies call Kiki back to make a delivery for them. And when Kiki shows up, it's a cake with a little witch on it and it says Kiki.
Aww.
And then one of the old ladies says, will you please bring this to a young delivery girl? She was kind to me and a very big help. It's my way of saying thank you. Oh, and can you find out when her next birthday is? Then I can bake her another one.
That's the sweetest thing. And I just got some goosebumps.
I wrote BRB crying. Like I was like literally like
That's
um
honestly probably one of the most wholesome parts.
right? Oh my gosh. And Kiki tears up as well and she says something like she says maybe the delivery girl can find out the old woman's birthday as well and she can make her a cake or something like that and it's like just really sweet and while at the old lady's house Kiki sees on TV that the dirigible if you don't know what a dirigible is I don't blame you because no one uses that word it's a
The
blimp.
only time I've heard that word before is in Harry Potter, the dirigible plums.
Right. Yes. It's a blimp basically, but I think it probably functions a little differently maybe, I don't know. But it's upside down and somehow Tombo has found himself hanging off a cable that is attached to it. And this is all like being televised. And Kiki's like, fuck, that's my friend. I gotta go save him.
This is like, I consider this to be like the climax of the movie.
Oh, for sure.
It's like everything that she's done up until this point leads up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like her friendship with Tombo, all of, the flying that she's done. It just seems like everything's led up to this point.
Right, because like at the beginning of the movie, she's not very good at flying as well, which is worth noting because like when she leaves home, they have a bunch of bells tied to the trees, and that's how they can tell if she like hit the trees when she was practicing flying.
Kiki.
And she still struggles to fly like a little bit throughout the movie, but like she gets progressively better at flying.
Because she's practicing. Practice
Yeah.
makes perfect.
Um, so she goes to save him, and she ends up borrowing, because her broom is still broken, remember? She ends up borrowing this broom from this man in the street. Um,
I
and
remember that.
he's like, no, you can't have my broom. And she's like, thanks. And she takes it anyway.
Me.
And she's able to fly again in order to save him. And it's the power of friendship or something. I don't know. And she saves him, like, literally barely. Gigi shows up at the end of the movie when everyone's celebrating and like she's getting interviewed for the news. And um Kiki still can't understand Gigi. Like he's still meowing. Yeah, what do you think that means? What do you think that means, like, thematically?
I think that going off on a limb here, I think it means that Gigi was her guide, and as she's become a more powerful witch, she needs him less. And it shows growth.
I like that theory. I've heard some other theories that, like, Gigi Gigi stops talking once she has her first instances of self-doubt, and when she resolves that self-doubt, like, she still doesn't understand him, and somehow that's a sign of her becoming more mature. But, like, to me that doesn't track quite, like, that doesn't quite make sense to me, because if that were the case, I would think that she would be able to understand him again, if that's, like, the theory.
Right. I don't know.
I feel similarly to you in that, like, he was kind of a guide, but I think it does have to do with her maturity, but I think it's like he was helping her move through those phases a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Kiki's Delivery Service. It's just like the cutest movie ever. Probably
It's
not, but
really
like,
good. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. I believe it's on HBO Max with all
mhm,
the other Studio Ghibli movies. Um, it's real wholesome, real cute, real sweet. A lot of good stuff in there. It's very lighthearted and it's good quality content.
mhm. I have a few things about black cats because that
Hit me
is
with it.
the main witchy thing that's in this movie. We've already talked about brooms. If you want to hear about that, we can. That's in the Hocus Pocus episode. So black cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have an article up here from AP News, and I will link it in the show notes.
Excellent.
Um, so we know that black cats are associated with witches, and it was back in the Middle Ages that witches were starting to be like hunted. Witch hunts were happening, and black cats were familiars, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, to witches.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when they started to become considered sinister. They also believed that if a black cat crossed your path, you were soon going to die. Black cats were
So
killed en masse in the Middle Ages.
that's terrible.
I will say that after the sad stuff, I will give you some positive stuff. So, because they were killing off witches, quote unquote, and black cats, um, the population of mice were not being controlled in the Middle Ages, and
Is that a bummer?
the population of citizens started to dwindle because of the bubonic plague, which was carried by mice. So if the cats had been around,
Maybe the plague wouldn't have happened.
I mean, at least maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But this is when the superstition spread to America as people moved here from Europe. Uh,
I know I shouldn't say dumb because I literally just had a whole thing in an inclusive language workshop at work. about how we shouldn't use words that make light on disabilities. Anyway, ridiculous because inclusive language, and we're trying to be inclusive and accepting. And it's hard to change inclusive language because that's how brains are.
Yeah. Yeah, another word that is not so great to use that I use a lot is like insane.
Insane, mad, mental, crazy,
Yeah,
lame.
crazy. I use insane a lot.
I'm trying to fix my language, but
Well, that's good. I mean, you're aware of it, and that's what's important.
yeah, I'm aware of it and correcting myself. The
Um,
black
so
cats.
yeah, black cats. In Germany, some people believe that black cats crossing a person's path from right to left is a bad omen, but from left to right, the cat is granting favorable times.
So when that happens, you just need to walk really fast in front of the cat to the opposite side of it.
You're so right. The pilgrims viewed the black cat as a companion or familiar to witches who were said to, quote unquote, use black cats as an integral part of their craft. In Japan, the black cat is a symbol of good fortune and prosperity. Single women in Japan have black cats as they believe it will bring them a mate. Why did they use the word mate?
A companion,
A partner? Why mate? The fuck?
a significant other.
Anything but mate. A funeral with a black cat is thought to bring on the death of another family member.
Why would you have a black cat at a funeral?
I
Just
don't
saying.
know. If one walks away from you, it means you will lose good fortunes.
Um, okay.
Having an unknown one on your front porch will bring prosperity to you, and finding a white hair on a black cat will bring you good luck.
I'll let Alyssa know all of these because she has a black cat.
Hmm?
Actually, Alyssa's gonna know about these because she listens to our podcast.
Oh shit. Oh, also, something like it's weird, but like you would think that the well, I guess yeah. You would think superstitions around black cats aren't around today still because
Mm-hmm.
that's silly, but they are, and it's believed that some people still kill black cats on Halloween, like maybe as part of
I've
mischief night or
heard of that, and I've also heard that there's a lot of shelters that do not allow people to adopt black cats around Halloween for that
oh,
reason.
that's awful.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
not that
good
they
on the
don't,
shelters,
yeah, yeah, that's
but
awful that people want to adopt cats to kill them. That's terrible.
especially when like adoption fees are only like $50.
Yeah.
If people, yeah,
Um, there is, however, an adopt a black or adopt, oh my God, excuse me. October 27th has been designated Black Cat Day by Cats Protection in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to celebrate the virtues of black cats and to encourage people to adopt an unwanted black cats. Because
that's really cute.
right? Because black cats are always the ones that are the most black cats are the heaviest population of type of cat in
Yeah, I
shelters.
get it.
I don't know how else to phrase that. It's late.
It's 7:30.
It's late for me. I get up at 4:30 a.m. every day, okay?
I get up at 8.
And I'm gonna start getting up at 4 a.m. because I want to start doing
No,
I want to start doing yoga in the morning. So, yeah.
no.
I do apologize. My black cat facts are a little all over the place, but I kind of decided I wanted to talk about it last minute.
That's okay.
I mostly just wanted to mention the bit about the bubonic plague
I
because that is just so
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Us
Ridiculous.
both searching for another word that does not make light on illness. Yeah, that's Kiki's delivery service, and you should definitely watch it if you get a chance. And next week we'll be coming to you with WandaVision or Little Witch Academia.
You gotta pick one. I gotta know which one to watch.
Kyla and I will discuss that later, but it's going to be a surprise for y'all.
Make sure to follow us on social media. We're at Movie Witch Pod and at Movie Witch Podcast. If you would like, you can support us on Patreon for as little as $2 a month, which would help us greatly. You get early
And
access
it would
to
make
episodes.
it would make it so I'm not the only patron.
It would also help Kaija get a new mic, a new headset. All of our money that we get from Patreon would go back into the podcast.
Correct. We're not pocketing that shit.
Because this is a labor of love. Oh yeah, you get early access to episodes and you get access to the video version of the episodes.
In which you can see our pets.
Yes, you can see the kitties and the dog and the stupid faces we make, our awesome outfits. Mostly Kai's.
Cooking spinach artichoke dip.
If you pay $7 a month, you get Patreon exclusive bonus episodes, which we're still working on because honestly, we need patrons to tell us what they want to hear. So
that's true.
If you would like to make your voice heard, hey, there's how you do it. So that's it for now. We will talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, witches.
Bye, witches.